actually say, you should talk to your kids' doctors now about the flu shot if you have any of those questions. We're going to get to the most recent flu report in just a second, but I want to show you actually what's happening. Actually, I'm going to go to the right screen here in Arizona when it comes to flu cases. So this is the latest report from the state health department. And as you can see here, this was the peak that we hit during this season. That was towards the end of December and the beginning of January. And as you can see, flu activity really is minimal right now. A total of more than 72,000 cases in our state this flu season. The final numbers won't be official until the fall, and the CDC report on those pediatric flu deaths did not say how many of the children who died were vaccinated. A doctor with the American Academy of Pediatrics says the 216 deaths we know about in kids under 18 is also likely an undercount. Doctors say there are a few factors at play here, but a big one is fewer children are getting flu shots. The flu vaccination rate in kids in the U.S. was 64% about 5 years ago to 49% this season. Again, as we've been mentioning, it's winding down for now, but I spoke to the division chief of infectious diseases at Phoenix Children's, who says now is a good time for parents to start planning for the next season.
This is a vaccine that's going to be coming up every year. That conversation is going to happen every year. Start asking, as a parent, start asking those questions around the vaccine now when you're meeting with your pediatrician. So when the next season comes around, you're at least prepared.
Yeah, you don't want to wait until the middle of the year or till after you get sick. Now, flu shot effectiveness does vary year to year. Anyone 6 months and older is eligible for the vaccine. The doctor also wants to remind everyone the goal of the flu shot is not to make your child totally immune. However, if they catch a form of influenza, their illness would be much milder. Unfortunately, it's been a really tough year for adults as well. The CDC describing it as a highly severe flu season with at least 47 million illnesses in the U.S., about 26,000 deaths at this point. And again, as we've been mentioning, flu activity is down in most states. So you guys can see this peak here. But I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, we had that sort of odd year when we saw a peak in the springtime. Right. Not looking like that's happening, but a lot of things changed after the COVID-19 pandemic.
I've been really lucky. Tess hasn't gotten me sick this year.
I have not had the flu in years, thank goodness. But I was going to say, I feel like so many kids in school were talking, families were talking about how somebody had the flu. The flu is very prevalent. So.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, it was December. Like, we tend to forget what that sick season was like. And it was pretty bad for a lot of people in the newsroom. Not bad for Scott this year. So fingers crossed.
Thank you, Whitney.